My name is Mark Hundley, and this is Live at 5 for a Monday. It's actually the June 1st, so it's not only the first day of a new week, it's the first day of a new month. So welcome to Live at 5 for this day, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching it later. I welcome you. Um, I hope you had a good weekend. I hope that you were able to rest mind, body, and spirit over this process. I know that over the last week or so, I've been troubled. I've been deeply grieved. I've been sad. I've been angry. I've been confused. I've been frustrated. And I know you have too. Today and tomorrow, we're going to be talking a little bit about aspects of the systemic, historic, intergenerational racism that has plagued our country for well over 400 years. And I want to talk about some ways that we might begin to change some of those things. So, this may be a little hard, may be hard to hear, it may be hard to contemplate, but I really believe that if you just pause and allow yourself to listen in, you'll see what I'm talking about. I want to talk a little bit, kind of two things today. The source of resistance and something that I call the four L's. I almost called it L yes, but I thought that would be a bit too unfunny to do that. But let's dig in. There's so much talk about resistance these days. You know, if you were to believe those who speak out against resistance, the reality would be that resistance is the pathway to destruction. There appears to be a popular position that views resistance as something to be eliminated. Further, those who espouse this position tend to label resistance workers or protesters, not those who destroy, not those who break and create havoc and destroy property and people, but the resistance workers, the protesters, they see them as people devoid of wisdom or character or direction. Those who resist often find themselves as targets of derision or worse. Resistance then becomes, in some respects, to those who believe this way, tantamount to treachery. As much as some would want us to believe that resistance is unpatriotic, nothing is further from the truth. In fact, resistance might just be the action and the actions that cause us to be able to redeem the power that we have as a people. The Lakota people, the Lakota tribe, have a proverb that states, "Force, no matter how concealed, begets resistance." This is great. If this statement is true, and I believe it is, then the source of resistance is the force enacted by those in power. Strange. Think about it. Some believe that the best way to create cohesiveness in corporate direction is to impose force. You know, force, push, demand, coerce, manipulate. These are the tactics that those in power often employ to move ideas and people and projects forward, all the time believing that resistance is somehow an outgrowth of evil intent. And yet, here it comes, force begets the very resistance they seek to eliminate. They create that which they hate. What is the answer? I'm thinking that the answer is simple yet incredibly gutsy and difficult. Instead of using force as the lead strategy, why not work instead to invite dialogue and discussion and free exchange of ideas that may ultimately create a sense of unity? Wow. Go figure, sitting down and having a conversation. The one thing that I see that might get in the way is the sense that those in power might lose the illusion of control they have convinced themselves that they possess. And that's really what it is, an illusion. We can only be controlled if we allow ourselves to be so. What are some things that we can do to change this unnecessary and destructive use of force in leadership, this shift from authoritarian position? Well, first, we should perhaps consider altering our own model of leadership. There are many, many models of leadership, and for today's purposes, I want to address very, very briefly the transformational model of leadership. It's one that I think that most likely will create the longest term change. Here's the definition. Transformational leadership is a theory of leadership where a leader works with teams to identify needed change, creating vision to guide the change through inspiration, and then executing the change in tandem with committed members of a group. I love this line. Transformational leadership inspires people to achieve unexpected or remarkable results. Don't we need some unexpected and remarkable in our country today? So we have to adopt a different model of leadership. Second thing we have to do is put this theory to work in the lab of life. Often, what we do, we tend to look for someone whom we believe to be the best equipped to take that mantle of leadership so we can follow. However, I believe that each one of us has a sphere of influence and therefore opportunities to lead where we are every single day. How might we do this? Here's where the 4 L's come in, 4 suggestions. Transformational leadership requires that leaders, and remember, that's you and me, that's us. Number 1, lead. Get out of the shadows. Step into center stage. Get out of the woodwork and step forward and begin to lead from where you are as an individual with what you have, those talents and abilities and ideas and that influence. Our voice, our behaviors, our life. We have to stand up. We have to speak out. We have to stay consistent. The second L, we have to listen. Really listen to what other people say. This requires that we truly lean in and learn to ask good questions so that others know that we value them as people and we value what they have to say. Make sure that those around us feel heard and understood. The third L, linger. We don't do enough of this. Once you've listened, once it's started to take root inside your spirit, stay with what you hear. Allow the information you receive to settle down into where you are, where you live. Make sure that you get the message from those around you. Clarify it by letting it take root. The fourth is launch. This is our 4th L, launch. Once we have stepped into lead and we're listening and we're lingering, we can launch. New directions, new initiatives, new programs, new ideas, new ways of behaving, new ways of bringing people together. Choose to tap the power of synergy. Work to avoid the pitfalls of force because they're there. Eliminate dependence on the need for control. It's an illusion at best. Confusing? Yeah, it is. It's a challenge and it's confusing. But I encourage you, take just a few minutes to think about it. Perhaps you will see, like the Lakota do, that force, no matter how concealed, begets resistance. And transformation, no matter how minuscule, creates opportunities for lasting change. I really appreciate you stopping by, hanging with me this afternoon. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about a topic entitled On the Edge. On the Edge. In the meantime, have a great evening, a great day tomorrow. I wish you well. Peace.